Hi everyone, welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne, and welcome to my daily Love Sun Sign series, and welcome to August. It is August 3rd, and as I speak, we are experiencing a full moon in Aquarius. And what's interesting about that is that for those that are new, just a short intro, I like to pick two sun signs randomly each day, and then I talk a little bit about each sun sign, why I think they have a great connection and what I believe it is that did attract them to each other for the most part. It is a general reading. It is strictly about the sun signs, and that is the personality aspect of ourselves. That is where the day we're born, that is the sun, it is our ego, it is our desires, our interests, people we want to be around, people we want to appear to other people as, and that sort of thing. And then I like to read your tarot energies and guidance messages, as well as some very wonderful oracle divinations I have and their messages that come through. And I'm going to shuffle these as I go along because I've shuffled them before, but I just like to make sure it's nice and fresh. So today is, like I said, August 3rd, 2020. And these messages can very well be felt right now as you're watching this, if it is today, or certainly throughout the month, because that's how energies work. And when I discuss with you the astrology part and the planetary aspects that are coming through both in the tarot, because there's a definite association, as well as, you know, the moon and the planets happening right now, they affect all of us, and they will affect your relationship and your individuality, but they do affect you in different ways. It's entirely dependent on where these particular planets may or may not be in your particular birth chart, because we all have an individual birth chart the moment we're born, you know, that blueprint of what can happen in our lives. Always the possibilities, never the definite, okay? There's always free will and all sorts of beautiful other aspects to astrology. So today, interestingly enough, I randomly did the toss just before, to save time and not make duplicates or have it fall off the actual little wheel here. I have Aquarius and Taurus sun connection. So what's interesting, like I said, today is the Aquarius full moon. Aquarius is, oh my gosh, it's the air sign, air element. And Aquarius is definitely this futuristic kind of scientific, under the guidance of Uranus being the ruling planet, is huge as far as forward thinking outside of the box, definitely wanting to maybe stir things up. You know, Uranus is all about unexpected things, unpredictability, and that's the ruler of Aquarian. So you can see where they're not going to be set in any one particular mold, and they definitely have an interest in, well, being an air sign, they definitely love communication, they love exploration, they love the mind and thinking and processing and strategizing and calculating, you know, at times, you know, there's a little bit of a remote and detachment kind of a feel. They're very focused, and they love education, expansion of the mind in all different ways. They're incredibly friendly and kind and humanitarian sign, usually known as the water barrier, so that they're wanting to give to all the world, large groups, you know, global efforts. And so you've got that Uranus aspect to the full moon today as well, not just because Aquarian has that as the ruling planet, but because it happens to be squaring the sun and the moon at this. So if there are unexpected things coming up, have no fear. Sometimes they can be amazingly beautiful, unexpected things, but they also can be unexpected thoughts that you're thinking or wanting to change in your life or in your relationship, and for the better, right? I always think on a positive note. So these two signs are what I would call oppositions, basically because you have Aquarius being the air element and then Taurus being the earth. All people of all walks of life can get along, and I find that this particular combination, which I've seen a good amount of, they work through the differences, and they have both being fixed signs. They're very strong in their opinions, kind of hard to sway them But they're strong and they are confident and they are incredibly determined when they have their mind set in that fixed mode on whatever it is they want to work towards, improve. Nothing's going to stop them. And so that's an amazing and beautiful element. Now, the other thing about Aquarians are they are very independent in a lot of ways. They are perfectly fine having businesses and independent contracting ideas, entrepreneurial type of things without any question at all. Usually, though, I find they like to be in organizations where it's very philanthropic and they like to give to those that are, less fortunate, charities and so forth. Fundraisers are really big on that sort of thing, and that's a gorgeous thing. It's a wonderful trait. They definitely are artistic. They love creative. They love technology in general. They love and are fascinated with the possibilities and how the last really big Aquarian planetary aspect time, which was in the 90s, was when the internet was made. So that was very much an Aquarian type of energy and progression that occurred. And now we're actually approaching that again this coming year, 2021. And it'll be away from the Earth, which is Taurus, but it was in Capricorn mainly. So a lot of Earth fixed, grounded kind of standard, methodical kind of energy. Very different than Aquarius, right? So let's talk about Taurus. So Taurus is the earth element. Taurus is the bull. Taurus is the strength. Taurus is luxury, ruled by Venus. Taurus is love and passion in an earthly, down-to-earth, kind of calmer manner. But steady and reliable and loyal and steadfast. Very good with money. Very good with the practical parts of life. Not in a rush per se. Methodical, as I mentioned, is kind of a theme for most earth signs, but great determination and just an innate understanding of the process of money, the energy of money, the building of money, and the proper investing. Taurus is the sign of life and luxury and money, and just the finer things in life. So this is appealing to anybody who has that kind of combination, right? When you're with somebody that's dedicated, that understands that. I like it a lot because I feel like Aquarians are capable of that, but that Taurans can really teach them to think about the protection and security that's required for all of us, especially in times like now that we're experiencing. That kind of help and guidance to an Aquarian who's thinking about the world and all that, but not necessarily their own specific needs and important parts that are going to keep them safe and protected for years to come. That in itself is a beautiful combination with the two. The stubbornness to want to work things out on both sides is going to be there. The permanence that can be there with the steadiness and determination and persistence of the Taurus is invaluable in any relationship, but certainly with these two. Now, I find that because of this independent air and desire to do things independently, meaning with the Aquarian, that's acceptable to a Taurus. They actually admire that, they want a companion and a connection that they can feel is solid and, grounded and permanent. But they also like somebody who's independent and who's able to go out and make money and who's able to contribute to the that financial stability and permanence. Kind of relieves them of that, even though they're extremely capable and are happy to do it. The two of you love nature. The two of you love getting out. You love people in general. I would say that the Aquarian in the connection is probably more social and has a larger group. Not always, though. A lot of Tauruses I know are amazingly popular and social. They tend to want to have people come into their home though. They have a selective few at times too that they just really trust, and they'll always keep close to them and have as friends or connections for life. Overall, this is, once again, the differences are very noticeable, and elements of those two types in itself express that. But working together can be an incredible connection and relationship where you both learn and grow so much. The idea with this particular connection, as I mentioned in other connections that are not specifically similar, is to recognize each other's love language, how you speak to each other, how you listen, how you work things out, right? In a mature and respectful manner, of course. And just knowing that love prevails if you put that time and energy into it. And guess what? We're in Leo season. It started last July on the 22nd. But talk about, this is a fiery time. This is a passionate time. This is about igniting that love to another level, to have fun, to have this social aspect that you've been missing, like all of us, for a long time now, and still being safe. Once again, the technology now to be able to reach out has improved so much. And the retrograde season we went through for close to 6 weeks, in addition to the eclipses that made huge changes and transformations in everything and every part of our life. That's all kind of eased out. This is the month that Leo, ruled by the sun, and summer, basically, the heart of summer, is bringing this real energy of upliftment and fun and travel, wanting to move, wanting to do things, even if it's just in your own neighborhood, really, really comes to the forefront. Very, very positive for all connections. And also the new moon that will be on the 18th, also in Leo, is going to ignite even more opportunities in this realm. And as the month progresses, it just gets bigger and brighter and more beautiful. And I'm excited talking about it. I have felt it myself. All sorts of circumstances, which we're going to find out in the reading, are really opening up and moving forward. And it may not be that you're back to work yet. I myself am not. It may not be that you're moving as quickly as you thought you might. That's not what I'm speaking of. But you have this beautiful, bright kind of optimistic feeling that's coming over you. Venus moves into Cancer on the 7th, which is this Friday. And that's just all about love. That's all about your emotions. I love Venus in Cancer because it's so heartfelt. They're a water sign, so they really go into the deepest part of our sensual and loving aspects. And, even though, sometimes Aquarians can seem detached, like I said, they are hugely passionate. And that Taurus is going to bring it out of them. Absolutely. So if you've had some difficulties at all, which of course a lot of us have, maybe you've been together too much, or you're working them all out, you are feeling good. And please let me know, because I am hearing that from so many people. And I'm very, very happy to be able to bring messages like these. Let's see what your tarot reading has to say. And it will be under 4 major categories. And then I've, like I said, incorporated my oracle messages. This is a repeat. So this is the kind of thing that's going on. It's really been prominent in beautiful. I'm also using the Art Nouveau Tarot for the season of Leo because it's all gold. It's sunshiny, sparkly, if you can see it. I'm not sure. And then this is a repeat too. This is so beautiful though, and it's so perfect. I like to read the foundation card for the two of you. And right off the bat, it's the Page of Cups. It is a water element. It is what I was speaking of. It's already feeling that new kind of Venus energy moving into water, moving into Cancer. It could be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio energies, but we know the Venus is moving into Cancer. It's all about love. It's bringing broad information. The pages are the youthful beginnings, kind of newness. So this is to all of the connections of Taurus and Aquarians where you've been reaching out, but just barely, it's just kind of started. Or you're interested, or you've seen someone online because it's so appropriate right now, right? And good stuff, good feelings, all exactly what we were talking about. The Leo, the passion, opening up to that, expressing yourself. Maybe you were feeling inhibited. Neither of you tend to be inhibited, and I think that both of you are extremely good at communication. Of course, like I said, that's huge to Aquarians, and also Tauruses. You're ruled by the body part for Taurus is the throat and speaking, so you're amazing when it comes to vocal speaking, singing, all those things. But there's messages that are new coming up with this relationship, and it's a beautiful feeling. It's that love, it's that creative energy that comes with the water element. Very nice. That's your foundation. That's the basic catalyst leading to this reading and up to this point. And you can't go wrong with that. So then the first category, overall energy for today and moving forward, I love this so much, is the Ace of Wands. This is such incredible passion. This is known as the symbol of phallic symbol, to be honest, in some readings. And why not? It's exactly perfect for right now. You're letting your guard down. You're saying, this is how I feel, and I want to demonstrate it spiritually and physically. And it's on, Take that staycation, do what you have to do, take time for yourselves. You're feeling it, embrace it, love it. It's really powerful right now, and it will continue to be. So I'm just, this is the kind of readings that we're getting. And did you see the sparkly I was talking about? I don't know if it picks up with my camera. Bright brilliance. Happiness, fun, reminding ourselves of that. Whatever that means to you. The next category is under the category of possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the 10 of Wands, also a very largely repeated card. And guess what? You've had a lot of burdens on your back, a lot of responsibility, a lot of possibly physical things you've had to do. Maybe you were moving. Maybe the two of you decided to move for a better financial situation. Maybe you got a really good deal. That's happening a lot for people who are investing in property right now. It's a really good time, which is ironic, but the burden of all that, and possibly physically to your body, your bone. The Mars influence, by the way, is also in a fire sign, which is Aries. It'll be there for 6 months. Talk about passion and drive and determination and tangible, results from anything that you've put forth, which has been a lot apparently. That's huge right now. It's huge for all of us, but it gives us that energy. It gives us that get up and go. And that's hard when you've had to be more confined, let's say, to your home and whatnot. Building that energy back is important. You can't just rush back into something when you've been told to stay still or, take that pause we've all been taking. So it's really being smart about it. And it's a 10. It's a new cycle. The burdens are being lightened. The load is being lightened. And that's what I love about seeing this card repeated. All of the ones prior, 5, 6, 7, they can instigate, just struggles you're going through still. And if anything, if it is issues with your physicality, just taking it slow, being gentle on yourself, getting out and do a little exercise, getting the fresh air, the natural things that, Taurus and earth signs just love natural remedies, camping, getting out in the fresh air, and so do Aquarians. Very important. And that would be the blessing, is to realize that time is ending if it hasn't already. Those eclipses really said a lot between June 5th and July 5th, 3 in a row. And they still tell the stories. In fact, if you didn't feel some of the information and the quickness that brings things in and out of our life from the eclipses that occurred, the storyline can actually be a month after. So we're approaching that as well. You might be all of a sudden the Uranus and hearing this information that you've been waiting for, and boom, changes everything. Just takes away the burden, takes away that concern and that questioning and the worrisome aspects of our lives, and just releases it, you know? I love it. Now, the next card in category is under the category of love. And that's about you and your relationship. You have the Magician. I mean, you can do and create anything you want in this relationship. You have all of the tools, is what this represents. You are mastering your relationship. You've come through some difficult times together. You've come through the differences you have with each other, and you work them through and appreciate your differences. You admire them. And it's really, really a beautiful, no holds barred kind of energy and symbolic message for you. You know, where have you come so far? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take this? And that's the sky's the limit, really. I love the Magician. It's not only for our relationships, but it's within ourselves, you know, being the best we can be, the optimal part of us. And this energy creates that. It reminds us of that about ourselves. Isn't that beautiful? There is magic, by the way. Life is magic. And we get through the toughest of times. And interestingly enough, and you'll know and hopefully remember I said this, but when everything is all said and done, and maybe not exactly the way things were, but we're going back to somewhat of a norm, we're going to really not want to remember this time that much. It'll be a memory for sure, but you're going to want to release that from your cells and everything else. And I think this is kind of inviting that as well. Next year will be a new year and a new opportunity to do just that with what we've learned. The next category is the category of finances. It's been huge for so many people. Finances is a matter of energy. Money is energy. We are all energy. What are we bringing in? What are we listening to? You have the Page of Swords. So this is swift information. This is the Uranus thing I was talking about. It's an air element, you know. Aquarian is air. Uranus isn't. Uranus is actually in Taurus. I forgot to mention that. That was the other really unique thing I saw and thought of when I pulled this combination. Right now we have Uranus in Taurus for a good 6.5 more years. And I don't know where it falls in your specific chart, but it affects us all. And it's going to bring whatever house, I should say it is, or planet it is in your particular chart. Uranus it can be one way, you know, for a while, and then it can change it up. And then it'll be another way. And it really teaches us to really kind of preserve and be as sensible as we can, because life is all about the ebbs and flows, right? And Uranus really brings that to our attention to teach us. So we're not at a point anymore where we're like, oh, I don't have any, I didn't save anything. Well, I know I've learned a lot about that. And I think we all have. So yeah. Information. On any level, in any form, but it's quick and it's pretty straightforward, and it's about justice, it's about truth and fairness, and that is what, but it's new information you hadn't heard. That's the Page. The Knight is even more, you know, kind of abrupt and just kind of in your face and not necessarily tactful or what have you. But I like this. Be prepared. If you haven't already, be prepared for changes. I'm talking governmental, you know, any kind of institution-wise, legal information about your money. And let me know. Because I like that a lot. And I see it as being good, especially being right after the Magician. Making that happen for yourself, you know, and doing whatever it takes to do so. Because like with me, I was waiting for 4.5 months. I finally heard about it last Friday. And it was EDD. And I didn't give up. It's hard to get through. We don't need to talk about that. But I didn't give up, and I wasn't going to give up. And it does pay off. You have to be persistent. Now, I did incorporate this really wonderful oracle deck I've had for a long time, but it's color intuition and the magic and power that the energy of color does for us. I'm a purple person, you can't tell today, but that just makes me feel beautiful. I've loved that color from basically my entire life. And it just, you know, resonates with me. I love all color, but that one makes me feel good, and it does change my mood, and colors have meanings behind them. I mean, the chakras are all represented of different colors. So I'm going to pick for you a card, specifically closing my eyes and not, you know, just for the two of you, and what this will mean for you this month. I love that color. This is definitely the deep sienna, kind of, not sienna, but sapphire purplish, which is always the third eye, you know, the ability to work with our vision, our intuition, psychic ability. We all have it. And then the next is the super attractor manifestation guidance card. I love it. You know that. It's law of attraction. What are we bringing in our life? What do we choose to have? Anything is possible. Everything is available. What is it you want, you know, and feel that into your existence. So I'll read to you what that has to say. And last but not least, your healing with the Angels Doreen Virtue deck. I love this deck. I pull one every single day, sometimes more. Our angels are there. I found out something in reading one of my favorite astrologists today. Saint Lucy is the saint for vision and eyes, if you have issues with your eyes. Who knew? I was like, okay, so if you're having issues, you can pray to Saint Lucy, the angel, and definitely will help guide you in any way that could make that better. This is also a repeat, because that's, the universe is working for us. Even when we don't understand it, or at that moment, you know, it all becomes clear when we want it to, when we open up that third eye and understand that. Let me read to you what it says. You have number 18, and that makes 9 in numerology. 1 plus 8, and that's completion. I'm telling you, the cycles of what's happened to this point are now transformed because of everything we had to learn, all the feelings, and yeah, it'll be slow moving forward for our safety. When we really, really think about it, we are loved and divinely guided. But yeah, this 9, the ending of a cycle, beginning of a new, continuously in our lives, right? Focused attention is your specific message. I focus my mind. I'm just like a laser, and certainly is revealed. And certainty is revealed, excuse me. I understand the power of being clear, strong, and resolved. I stay on my path. That's your message. That is what this color and the third eye can definitely create and bring as far as understanding and clarity. I like it as a mantra. I like it as something you can sit with in your meditations if you choose to do that, even on your walks. And then the next is the super attractor manifestation card. I choose to be a super attractor and have unwavering faith in the universe. And boy, you two are so strong. Your energies, and in fact, all of us in life, we have such incredible capability of manifesting, and you have the strength that's pretty unparalleled, to be honest. Work with this. It's there for you. It's just reminding you, you know, these are things you know innately. You have that intuition. Just believe it and make it happen. And last but not least, you're healing with the angels. You have blessings. They're continuous, and they're continuing to come forward. So do be mindful. Listen to those messages coming about your finances. Enjoy the passionate part of your relationships. Let go and know the burdens are ending. New cycles are here, and you have the magic and the wherewithal to have whatever it is you want in your lives, in your relationships. What a beautiful reading. I'm so glad that you would stop by today. And if you're new, please like and push that subscribe button for me. It helps. YouTube really likes that, and they will share with others, and that's important. This is something I want to do solely. I've done it for so many years, but now this is my new platform, and all of you have been incredibly grateful in helping me with that. So one last little thing I'd like to do, though, if you have one moment. Come here, boobies. is introduce you to my new beautiful little kitten. I've been talking about him for a long, long time, and his name is Eclipse, and I got him just before the June 21st eclipse, and that brings in new things, and he's my little buddy. And I call him Clip Her because he purrs like crazy. But I let him run around a little bit more now. I've had him, it'll be 8 weeks this Wednesday. And I just like to share him with you. I've been talking about him so much. Bye, everybody. Take extremely good care. We love you. Until next time. Bye for now.